What's going on, creative people? This is Creativity is an Idea podcast, a source of creativity for creative people. And today I am your host, Pyeric, and I have a special guest here. His name is Mike Aombi. Mike Aombi, aka the Game Changer.
Thanks,
And
man.
he is a dancer. He is a urban Kizomba dancer. Some people say it's urban kiz. If you know what it is, you get to see it in the description. You get to see a link in the description. You can click it and see what he has been doing and how he goes about it and how he's able to teach other people. Just a little bit background. He tried to teach me sometime. I think I've been trying to learn like two times, and all these times I give up because I like seeing them dance, but for some weird reason I think I can't, but I think I can. I just have to keep practicing so
Oh,
that I
you got
can
it. You got
be
it.
like him or just wow the ladies. I like how
Ah,
anyway, let's put that aside. So Mike, you're a friend of mine. I've known you for two years
two
now.
years
Two
or
years
roughly
now.
so. Yeah,
Wow. Idris and Sadiq.
yeah.
Um,
Sambu and
yeah, all those guys and the Jew guy. I call him the Jews, but he's not Jew. He's not a
yeah.
Jew guy. Anyway, Mike, how are you doing? Let me
I'm
ask
doing
you.
great, actually. I'm doing
You're
great.
doing
You know,
great.
life is happening. I'll
Life
put
is
it that way.
happening.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is amazing, Mike. So tell me, those who are listening, and if you're watching, Mike is a dancer. He's an urban kizomba dancer. So listen to what he has to say. Even if you are not a dancer, I believe whatever he has to say, something in there would sort of help shorten the lifetime or the time frame that you have to use in order to achieve whatever you want. So stay tuned. He has a lot to share. So Mike, tell me, who are you?
So my name is. You said my name is Mike.
Mhm.
Mike Aombi. Born and raised in a Congo,
Mhm.
Congo Kinshasa in Central Africa.
Mhm.
I pretty much grew up there, and 4 years ago I moved in the U.S. to look for the American dream.
Mhm.
I came in here as a basketball player,
Oh.
but the level was just too high for me. So I've I tried to find a passion in finance,
Uh-huh.
but heart just keeps calling me, and today I'm here,
Yeah.
traveling and teaching dancing.
That. Wow. Okay. That is good to know. I didn't know you came here to play basketball.
Yes, I actually did. Back home I was playing pro.
Oh.
Yes, back home I was playing pro basketball, and my parents thought, hey, you might have a shot
Uh
in the
huh.
U.S. So we did everything we could do to get me here.
Uh huh.
I got here. I used to live in New York for a year
Uh huh.
because New York is known as the Mecca
Uh huh.
of basketball. And I went there, balled out, but the level was just too high for me, and I was too old, apparently.
Oh, too old. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. I had no clue. Bruh, you should have told me this earlier.
yeah.
Wow. That is good. That's good to know. Wow.
In
That's interesting. So, Mike, tell me, you grew up in what is it called? Congo
the Congo
Kinshasa.
Kinshasa, yes, sir.
Kinshasa. I had this name when I was young. My dad used to pronounce Kinshasa.
Kinshasa,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Um, Tell me, how was your childhood like?
Uh, my childhood was very, I would say it was very calm
Mm-hmm.
because I'm one of the child of six. But
Wow.
my dad also, before meeting my mom, already had five other kids.
Uh-huh.
So I pretty much grew up in a house where you have to share everything with family and
Mm-hmm.
have to share everything with, brothers and sisters. So you didn't really get spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to grow up as the kid who always focused on school. I was chubby back then, so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that many kids friends.
Uh-huh.
So I used to spend time either playing video games or
Mm-hmm.
just writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll spend time alone or writing, and either go to school,
Mm-hmm.
spend a lot of time at church, spend a
Oh,
lot of time at church.
hallelujah.
Ah, yeah. But my childhood was pretty calm.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and I was looking forward to losing weight more than enjoying my childhood. Yeah, I know that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah. I don't know how that feels though, but you know.
Oh, excuse me.
I try to gain weight, but I can't. My head just keep getting bigger. I tell you, my cheeks. Anyway, with that aside, Mike, it's good to know something about your childhood. So tell me, growing up or even now, what event would you never forget?
Ooh, that's a good question. An event I will never forget. There are so many things that I cannot forget, but one thing that's coming to my mind is in.
Hmm.
So the backstory about it is that in Africa the school system is like you go from the first grade to the sixth grade, then
Hmm.
from sixth grade to 12.
Hmm.
So 12 is like the last one.
The last one.
So in the second cycle on the in the eighth grade, I started playing basketball. I
Hmm.
made basketball. Eighth grade, I fell in love with basketball, but I was chubby, couldn't make it to the team.
Oh,
At the ninth grade, I tried out again. I couldn't make it.
wow,
So I got pissed. That summer, I went in and practiced basketball every day, 5 a.m., go up, run, and stuff.
wow.
In the 10th grade, I was so pissed that I didn't do the tryout. I just went to my regular basketball class. And at the end of the class, my professor called me. It was like, hey, we want you in the team.
Hmm.
So I made the team. And at the 12th grade, that was the first time that we playing. That was my last year in high school. We playing basketball.
Hmm.
And it was the final. And I couldn't play. Why? Because I had an abscess in my leg,
Oh,
in my right foot. So it was very bad. Like my foot was swollen. I couldn't play. And the reason why this is an event I will never forget because the game was 2 weeks from the surgery that I was supposed to have.
hmm,
I had surgery. Everything went well. I had surgery. I'll never forget it. A Friday. Everything went well. The Saturday, the doctor who did the surgery came in was like, "Hey, everything's okay. Like people will come clean you, clean the place. Then on Monday I'll be back to come and check you out."
uh-huh.
That Saturday, the cleaning crew didn't clean my foot well, and they were supposed to clean it twice a day. The 2 times they didn't clean it well, so it was getting affected. On Sunday morning, they were supposed to clean it. They didn't clean it well, it was getting more infected. And the doctor was supposed to come in Monday
Monday.
afternoon. For some reason, he told me for some reason he was around the hospital with his wife. He said he would stop by and watch me. And when he up, because he came in and asked me, "Are you still hurt?" I'm like, "Yeah, for some reason I'm still hurt." He said it doesn't make sense. He said when he opened up my wound, he saw my foot was all dark. He said Eddie come in on Monday, they would have been cutting my leg.
Oh,
Yeah. And I will never forget that because I was a basketball player. You can play basketball without a leg, and look at me today. You can't
wow.
dance without a leg.
You can't dance without the
Exactly.
moves you do. You can't really do them without
Exactly.
two
Exactly.
legs.
Exactly. And that happened just when it wasn't even supposed to be there. Yeah. And that's why it's one of the stories that I'll never forget. Ever.
Wow.
Ever.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very deep. It's very deep.
Wow. Interesting. Hmm. You were almost about to lose it if the doctor didn't show up that night.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's one of the stories that always tells me that the universe is working for you.
Mm-hmm.
I had so many stories like that. Like I remember my dad always tell the story when we in family. It's
Mm-hmm.
like when I was born, I was like a couple months old.
Mm-hmm.
I was starting to play around the house. So in Africa, sometimes you have electricity, sometimes you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have electricity that night. My mom and all the other kids were outside the house.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was in the room sleeping. It was night, and I was sleeping in the living room. But then I woke up. This is what they tell me in the story. I woke up. I started wandering around. The electricity came back on, but there's not. The electricity came back on. Everybody was outside. My dad was in the room. I was in the living room by myself. And you know how the radios are. You have a radio. You have the
Mm-hmm.
plug that goes into the radio, and then that goes to the I mean, uh, outlet.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, I took out the plug from the radio so it was still connected to the electricity
Mm-hmm.
and put it in my mouth. I started getting shocked. And crazy story is that I did it just when my dad was walking out of the room.
Wow.
And he said he saw me just shaking and he touched me, got pushed away by the electricity,
Mm-hmm.
still had to put it out and take me. So you had all those crazy stories that even when you sit back and think about your life, you have all those crazy stories that just tells you there is a reason why I'm here. There's a reason why I'm here.
Yeah, that shouldn't stop you.
Oh, that
You
didn't
have to
stop me.
keep going
Yeah,
regardless of whatever you
yeah.
see.
And I'll always tell my students today when I teach them about the reason of being here.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, if I tell you today you will win the lottery twice in the next 10 years, you will tell me that's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
I can't make it. But the probability of you being born, it's 1 out of 400 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to put it into number, you are more likely to win the lottery twice every day for the next 20 years
Mm-hmm.
than then you're likely to be born.
Wow. Yeah.
So you're here for a reason.
You are here for a reason, Mike. Well said. Well said. I don't even know what to ask again.
Mm.
Not that is really interesting. Wow. Let me ask you, Mike. How did you start, or why did you start what you're doing now, as a dancer? Why did you start dancing?
Uh, the dance that I'm doing now, how I started it was, Sambu. So
Mm-hmm.
it's Sambu, because I already knew the music.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with ghetto zouk music.
Mm-hmm.
So Sambu had an event where people would dance kizomba
Mm-hmm.
and ghetto zouk. I just used to go there for the girls. I wasn't really interested in it
Yeah.
at first. But dancing is a different thing
Uh-huh.
because always been a dancer. But this particular dance is like I just went there for the girls because it was a partner dance.
Uh-huh.
At first, I wasn't caught up in it. I was like, I'm just gonna go talk to girls and stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I remember the third time I went there, I was dancing with Sembu assistant.
Mm-hmm.
She was a nice lady, and I still meet her today. We start dancing. It was our first time ever dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and we start dancing, and she took her hand for some reason, put it in the back of my head, like a very gentle touch, like a very gentle touch. And I closed my eyes ever since. I never opened them.
The touch of a lady made him want to
Yeah,
dance.
yeah,
Oh, wow. That made you like, okay, that is it.
yeah.
I'm
I
in
need to
for
learn it.
this. I'm
I
going
need to
to
learn it.
learn this dance
I need
and
to learn it. I need to learn
practice
it. Yeah.
and teach other people. That okay, that is a
But
history around it.
that's just how I got hooked to it.
Uh-huh.
But then, like in anything to get attracted by, you need a physical touch. You need
Mm-hmm.
a physical attention first. Like when you get attracted to someone, it's their physical first. Like you look at them first,
Mm-hmm.
and after you discover what is deep inside of them.
Yeah.
In I think there's a quote that said, "Beauty attracts, but the soul keep."
Beauty
So,
attracts,
but the
but the
soul
soul
kept you.
keeps
So a beautiful woman will attract you, but her soul will keep you
keep
around.
you. Okay, that is interesting to know. I didn't know that. I'll keep it in my head.
Mm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'll wait for the chance to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mike, who do you consider as your idol? Either in your industry or not in your industry,
Oh wow, that's gonna be tough
or
as
an
well.
icon? Who do you consider as an icon?
In my industry, I will definitely say Albio Ras. Albio is a dancer from Spain,
Mm-hmm.
so he is one of the icon guy in Kizomba fusion,
Mm-hmm.
and he's very humble.
Mm-hmm.
He's up there, like he's very up there. Like he's the type of guy who goes in any city, he doesn't go unnoticed, but he's still humble.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, I would say my icon, my idols are all the entrepreneur,
Yeah.
because I'm building as I'm growing up, as I'm investing my life into something. And I have a lot of respect for entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of respect for anyone that can put his life in the line, go against what is the norm, just
Mm-hmm.
to focus on what they want to do with their vision and making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You are my idol if you're doing that.
You were doing that. That is good. And not to disregard those who are not entrepreneurs, because regardless of what the entrepreneur will do, we need a team. We need someone who will guide us along the way, who will assist, who will tell us, you're fucking up, man. Come on, let's do it this way. Sir, we don't do it this way.
True
You know,
that. True
so
story.
it's entrepreneurs need people. Entrepreneurs need workers. So he's inspired by entrepreneurs. He sees entrepreneurs as an icon, but we are not disregarding those who are not entrepreneurs, because without you guys, entrepreneurs are nothing,
You're nothing.
So
Yeah.
we really appreciate both sides. Thank you for bringing that up, entrepreneurs. Hands up to everybody. So Mike, tell me, there is this phrase like Newton's law, and I'm paraphrasing it, and it goes this way: in order for you to go up, you have to let some things down. So what did you have to, or what did you have to leave behind for you to see the gradual progress you're seeing now?
Actually, right now I'm still in the process of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still in the process of it. Just I live in America. Yes, I'm still African. So I grew up with the notion of you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a doctor, you have to be an engineer in order for you to be respectable.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be a dancer. Like this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you grew up around that, and it's funny because
Yeah.
and it's funny because back home when I got kicked out of seminary, I went to law school.
Mm.
I have a degree back home in economic law,
Mm-hmm.
and I moved here. I have an economic law here. I'm studying finance,
Mm-hmm.
so it's still trying to let go of the notion of what are you doing? Like, why are you investing money into college finance? Do you want to do this? Like, do you go forward with it?
Mm-hmm.
There is still a notion of having a safety net.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm still gonna have a degree in case things don't work out. But that's also the thing that's gonna kill you if you are an entrepreneur or an investor. It's like it's either you all in
Mm-hmm.
or you all out. You don't want to be halfway in. So right now, I'm still trying to let go of the notion of just being a dancer or following what you love to do will not get you anywhere. You know, and it's tough. It's
It's
tough
tough.
because if you grow up around it, I left Africa when I was 21 years old, so
You had that ingrained in your head.
it's in my head. It's in my head.
I feel
It's
you
in
on
my
that.
head. Yeah.
You know, it. I believe here it's I can resonate with you. It's sort of created a filter. So everything you see, everything you hear, goes through that filter for you to understand it differently. So you have
Hmm.
to change that filter. You know,
Exactly.
and you're getting there. You're getting
Hmm.
there. If you've taken this first step and you've started teaching, you've been traveling and teaching people how to dance and dance, and you're changing the filter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're changing the filter. That is good to know. So tell me, I still have my questions here. If you're watching me, I'm not that smart.
Mhm.
The brain is working. Anyway, let me ask you, Mike. Day in, day out, there are certain things we do to see progress, and there are certain things we do not to see what we want. Tell me, what are you doing day in, day out to see all this gradual progress you're seeing now?
To see the gradual progress, the way my mind works is pretty uncommon.
Hmm.
Uh, First thing, day in and day out, I listen to music
Hmm.
because it's a dance. I always tell my students, the music and dancing is everything. The
Hmm.
only difference between a crazy person on the street moving his arm and a dancer is music.
Hmm.
If I'm sitting at a Starbucks, I'm looking through the window, I see someone moving, I'm like, is he losing his mind? If I get out of Starbucks and I hear the music and I see them move, it all makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
makes sense. So I listen to music every day. Like I'm talking about this past 3 weeks, I've been almost not sleeping because I'll be in my living room listening to music and practicing. Having an idea, wake up in the middle of the night, I have to make it happen.
Wow.
I have to make it happen. So, and I live with my younger sister, and she's like, "Are you losing your mind or what? Like, go to sleep."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "No, no, I have to get this."
You have to get
So, I'm always like listening to music, and what I do to see a progress, I would say, is when I get frustrated, like I can get something.
just to sorry to interrupt you.
Hmm.
You said during your basketball stage, you got pissed, then you practice from 5 evening to whatever time you
Hmm.
were. Then you got pissed again. Like, oh, this
Okay.
guy gets his energy from getting pissed and frustrated. Okay.
It's actually funny because I was talking to one of my dance potential partner,
Hmm.
and I told her I was like, I get my motivation comes from people telling me you can't make it. Like I want people to tell me you're not good enough, you can't make it.
Hmm.
Example in the basketball.
Hmm.
I remember the summer before practiced and the team telling me you're not good enough. I was like, okay. Next year when I practice again, that's why I say I didn't do the tryout because I wanted them to come to me and say, we need you.
Uh-huh.
And the same thing with dancing. I started off with dancing naturally here, Urban Kids. I loved it. I was talented.
Hmm.
I had a practice partner. We practiced along. And there was a competition last year in March
Hmm.
where all the best urban kids dancers in the US were competing. And I just started. And I told my partner, let's go there.
Uh-oh.
And she told me, we can't go there because you're not good enough. And
Okay.
exactly what I just said, okay. And I handed the partnership. And today,
Yeah.
yeah. And today, this is where I am. And so every time I get frustrated, the way I look at it is that when you get frustrated, you hitting a wall.
Hmm.
Perfect. It's what people call hitting a wall. But the good thing about hitting a wall is that think about it like this. If you're frustrated, that means you can see no way. So that means you're in a dark room. So if you're in a dark room and you hit a wall, it's good. Why? Because if you keep touching around, you will find the door
You
somewhere.
found a door.
You'll find the door somewhere. So
So,
every time I get frustrated, it's like, okay, I'm hitting a wall. So that means what? There is a next level around.
yeah,
There's a next level around.
this is not just it. There is more to what you've seen, And as long as you keep moving in a dark room, you find a
You will
door.
find some. You will find the door. You
Yeah.
will find the
If you
door.
stay put, hey, you atrophy. Just saying. Wow, that is interesting. That's interesting. Good to know, Mike. So tell me, Mike, what is your source of creativity? What is your source? How do you get your source to create what you're doing now? How do
I
you get
cheat.
inspired?
I cheat. Oh, no.
You cheated.
No. I mean, creativity in dancing is it's one of the most challenging things.
Hmm.
It's one of the most challenging things. So for me, then that's why I love talking about dancing because dancing for me, it's a window that opens up to a
Hmm.
lot of things. My ultimate goal is not to finish up as a dance instructor, but there is more to it.
More
There is
to
more
it.
behind it. So that's why I use creativity of everything that I got. For one example, as I said earlier, I've been dancing my whole life.
Hmm.
I have a background into hip hop dancing,
Hmm.
so I use a lot of hip hop creativity in my dancing and stuff. But in my teaching, when I teach students, I teach them not just dancing, but I teach them about life.
Hmm.
I'm just using dancing to teach people about life. For example, in urban kids, it's a dance where that involves a lot of sensual, not sexual, but sensual movement.
Hmm.
So for a woman, for example, she goes in her everyday life with advertisement, with TV telling her she's not pretty enough, she's not good enough unless she has this, unless she has that.
Hmm.
Everywhere she goes, they tell her she's not a good woman, she's not a good looking woman, yet she's not sensitive unless she has that bag, unless she has that makeup. So now I teach them that dancing is the only safe space that you have. It's where you can truly be you. Okay, so I'm getting my creativities from all the negativity around people and let them know there is an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
There is something that you can use. There is something that can really make you feel great.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually teach them about come to dancing. It actually is a safe space where you can let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Now for men, for example, we know what they say. Like you're not man enough unless you have that car, unless you have that camera, unless you have that phone, unless you have those J's and stuff. And I teach men to have the courage to face things. When you're learning dancing, for example, I can do this step. I'm not good enough. And you're dancing with a lady. So if I can do this in front of a lady, that's very humiliating. I can do this. But I'm teaching men about courage
Mm-hmm.
of realizing where you are and working towards fixing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm using dancing just to teach them a life lesson. And dancing for me is a mystery. Is very heart of it's a very heart of mystery. Because not a lot of people know it, but in ancient Egypt they have secret schools. And in secret schools they teach, like the secret knowledge like chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
like religion, like dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And in those secret schools the only rule was we'll teach you, but you will never write about it.
Oh.
You preach about it. You never write about it. That's why Socrates went to Egypt, and Socrates never wrote anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry for my brothers Christian, but Jesus went to Egypt, and Jesus ended up not writing anything. Confucius went to Egypt and ended up not writing anything. And the reason why dancing is a sacred art, that's why I say dancing is more than just moving your body. Dancing is like it's way more. So I take my inspiration from everything. Why? Because dancing, I say dancing is a language.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing is the language of emotions human language couldn't find words for. We just couldn't find words for it. So that's why we started dancing. And dancing is pretty much me telling the music, you are energy, you are sound, you are energy, but you don't have a body. And me, I have a body. I'm going to allow you to use my body.
To express yourself.
That's what dancing is.
That is deep. That is deep. That is deep. Deep, 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 deep.
Thanks, brother. I
Yes.
appreciate that.
That's Mike Aombi,
Yep, sir.
aka Game Changer.
You already know.
All right, Mike, tell me, before you started dancing or doing what you're doing, traveling and teaching, what was stopping you?
Myself. I was stopping myself because I will consider myself not good enough. And it can be good and it can be bad at the same time because it's good because that means you are your own hardest critic.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm working, like no one can tell me something that I don't know about myself because I criticize myself every day. That's why I'm working towards perfectioning my main skill. But it can also stop you from understanding them. Small steps are good.
Mm-hmm.
Small steps are good. Like at some point, we just want to have mountains right away. Like we just want to make something big happen right away. But we forget that a mountain is a bunch of small rocks that got together.
Got together
Yeah. So
overnight. Yeah, we are there.
definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely not. And that's why I said I was stopping myself because I was my own critic, and I wanted things to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted her like to have that one banger. Like we think those big actors, for example, like they just oh no, they had that one movie, that banger, that actually made them. Yeah, but they got to the movie for a reason. Why? Because they had the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing small gigs before.
Small. Mm-hmm.
They've been that's what I love. I don't know if you know the TV show Luke Cage.
Luke Cage. Yeah, I've
So
heard of
the
it.
season 2 is out, and there is this villain. I love him, Bushmaster.
Bushmaster.
Mustafa. I love that guy. And I saw him in Bushmaster in Luke Cage. I thought, oh, he was just a one-time wonder. Like he just had this one big thing. Now he's gonna be known. And I start following him on IG, Mustafa. And I've seen it. You've done things before. And that's why I stopped not being hard on myself, but understanding small steps are good.
The process.
Yes, you want a banger. Yes, the banger will come, but you need to be prepared to give that banger. And how you do you get prepared by giving the banger? By making the small steps before, by making those little mistakes before that will help you when the banger comes, you will get it.
Yeah.
You will get
Drum roll. You
it.
have your sticks in place to hit the drum.
Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful, Mike. That is beautiful, Mike. At this point, we're about to wrap up. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening, or creative people, if you are listening, this is Creativity is an Idea podcast, a source of creativity for creative people. And today's guest is Mike Aombi. He is an urban kizomba dancer or urban kiss.
Yes, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, at this point, Mike, tell us, what do you think about your industry?
Oh, that's gonna get me in trouble.
Hey, your own viewpoints, Mike.
That's gonna get me in trouble. My personal industry, where I'm working right now, it's one thing for sure. It's filled of people with love.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can tell people love what to do. Yeah, man, that's everything, man. You have to love what you're doing in life, man. Like you have to love what you do in life. But I can't lie. Like in love include family. We're all family, and every family includes drama.
Mm-hmm.
So like each family has its own drama, and my dance scene also has its drama, where it makes me feel like I'm back in high school, where all the instructors consider themselves like the cool kids, like they think they're better than the rest of people.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to festivals, for example, Good Teach, and you will see a group of people hanging around them because they're too good to hang out with other people or to dance with other people. And you have students, feeling pushed away,
Mm-hmm.
which personally I don't like. Why? Because if I'm an instructor because of the students. I'm not an instructor because of my skill. I'm an instructor because of the student, because they're willing to learn from me. So I want them to see me as approachable. Approachable now that they can do anything with me. No, approachable as I can talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yet I, I really respect it. Okay? Because I'll give you an example. I I was talking to one of my friends,
Mm-hmm.
colleague, and we were talking about how they get pissed. Like if I teach in the morning, then at night when there's the big party where everybody's dancing, I don't want people to come at me all the time. Like I don't want people to give me a little bit of time and stuff. And I'm like, you understand that being an instructor is literally being a superhero for those people. It's you have great power, you
Mm-hmm.
have great skill, and as in Spider-Man, they say great power.
Comes great responsibility.
Exactly. So you cannot have the good side of teaching, like being on the poster, getting paid, like being known, and now also enjoying the bad side of it, meaning we don't have off time unless you are in your hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want off time, if you want people to leave you alone, then
Mm-hmm.
be alone in your room. As soon as you step out of the room, the way you talk to people counts. The way you dance with people counts. The way you look at people counts. Like if you spend your entire festival looking mean, you will be known like that. Like you were on the clock. So those little things, like those little professionalism that I want people to understand. And obviously, it's a partner dance, so there is a lot of touchy touch. But that's none of my business.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's if you're in the dancing industry, the urban kizomba dancing industry, you would understand what he's saying, and those things are sort of human traits. You have to
Hmm.
be, you have to have a pleasing personality.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah,
definitely, definitely.
that is good. Yeah.
But one of the craziest thing I always want to, if someone there can find an answer, is the definition of deja vu.
Deja vu.
Yeah, because as I said earlier, I write too, so I always write about ideas and thought, and deja vu is the topic I'm on right now. I'm trying to define it, just a concept of understanding that there is way more
More to it.
in our lives than we think.
Deja vu seems to be deja vu. Deja vu. I just had one when I was talking to you.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, when you said I was asking you, I asked you something, and you said something like, something keeps happening again. It's like I've seen this, I've felt this before, I've had this feeling before.
Exactly.
Where is
And
this from?
right now, I have two theories about deja vu. The first one is, you know how they say when before you die, your entire life flashes in front of you?
Mm-hmm.
So what if right now you're already dead, but you're just reliving your life, and deja vu is your consciousness remembering being in that moment? Because deja vu,
Hey, that's weird though.
yeah,
You got
because
me
deja
going
vu,
crazy in my head now.
deja vu in French means déjà vu, meaning already seen,
Mm-hmm.
and deja vu are sensation like we swear now we just seen it before, we've been there before, like you feel it like I've been here before,
Before.
like I know I've been here before. But how can you have, it's like having a car accident wound before the car accident. How
Oh.
you can have it? And the second theory for me, it's more a video game type of mindset, is before coming here,
Mm-hmm.
we choose our lives.
Mm-hmm.
We look at a bunch of lives and pick one and be like, oh, I want to experience this life. It's like a video game. You go into shell trying to experience, like look at the video game. Oh, I like this game right here. You already know the ending of the game, but throughout the game, you cannot go right away to the ending.
To the
You
ending.
have to respect it. And I think the game now is you're here to remember why you're here. And deja vu are those little clues that remind you of why you chose that life. Oh,
Okay.
I remember this moment when I was choosing this life. But
Yeah.
it's
Like,
just those
Mama,
crazy.
I want that. I
Yeah.
want that one. And then go for
Exactly.
it. Then you come out into the world. Hey, look at the boys running around, walking around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You grow to become a man or a woman. That's
exactly.
amazing, Mike. That's
Exactly.
amazing. All right, we're about to wrap up. And at this point, Mike, tell them, anybody out there who's listening to you, what do you wish you would have known when starting as a dancer?
Uh, it wouldn't happen overnight.
It won't.
It wouldn't happen overnight.
Okay.
It will not happen overnight. Like anything that you do, anything that you do in life, there's one thing. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Allow yourself time to grow and really master what you want to do. If you're trying to rush through it, if you want to find shortcuts to it, guess what? It's called a shortcut for a reason, because it will cut you. It
Wow.
will literally cut you. Take your time, learn. It doesn't happen overnight. And the second thing that I'm struggling right now, I was talking to my mentor this morning. I had an amazing weekend. I was in Cary, North Carolina. I
Mm-hmm.
thought like I I was teaching folks from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
straight, like no breaks. And I was only because I was fasting last weekend, so I was only running on almond milk, on chocolate almond milk. So, and it was great. I did what I love to do, but I felt like quitting. Why? Because I felt like I'm not there yet. It's as fast as I expected it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not kind with yourself, then you will have those thought of quitting. Why? Because you think it has to happen fast. No, 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 no. It won't happen fast. Take your time to grow. And I guarantee you, the universe, literally, the universe is powerful. The universe will open up doors for you. If you keep pushing, the whole universe will open up doors for you.
Those for you.
And just a story about the universe is that This weekend I'll be in Austin, Texas. In this festival, I won't be teaching, but it's the biggest festival in North America.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to a moving, as you know, I'm moving to Canada. So everything I have is invested into the move of Canada. So I have to look for a place. I have to look for a place to stay and stuff. I literally had nothing left. Like, I don't mind saying that in my bank account last Monday I had $9.72. 72 cents.
How would you say that in French?
$9.72.
$9
72
72
cents.
cents.
Ouais.
Yeah.
I had $9.72. And I won't say the name. I won't say anything. But this person
Mm-hmm.
messaged me out of nowhere. Hey, are you coming to New York? I say, I won't be there. New Kids Festival. She asked me why. And I was like, well, I don't have the funding to go. And he goes, don't tell anyone,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be
Hey, he just told everybody.
there.
But no name dropping.
Yeah.
Thanks to the person who jumped
And
in.
he's cool. He's cool. So, and for me, it was like, that's the biggest event. That's like the Super Bowl in America for my industry.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And even me not having the funding to go there, the universe found a way to get me there.
To get you there.
I'm telling you, be patient with yourself. The universe knows.
Wow, that is amazing. Be patient with yourself because the universe knows you're grinding day in, day out. You're pounding like the North Carolina
Oh,
Panthers.
there. Beast
Anyway,
mode.
anyway, hey, young man, Mike, tell me, how can they find you? Tell them.
So
What have you
again,
been up to? What do you do? What have you been up to? And how can they find you?
currently I'm relocating to Ottawa, Canada. But my name is Mike Ahombi, Mikeahombi. You can find me on Facebook, or you can find me on Instagram as GameChanger12. So pretty much right now I'm going around and teaching people not just about dancing, but about how accepting themselves, especially for the ladies and especially for the men who are struggling with life, teaching them that there is a way that you can master life. And I'm just using dancing as a tool. Again, you can find me on Facebook and you can find me on IG for private lesson or to bring me to your city, and I'll be there to make things happen.
He'll be there to make things happen. So that was Mike Aombi for you, the urban Kizomba dancer
Thank you,
or
sir.
trainer,
Thank
urban
you, sir.
kids. It was a pleasure with spending time with you, guest. And this is Creativity is an Idea podcast, a source of creativity for creative people. And I am your host, Pyeric, and today's guest was Mike Aombi,
Always a pleasure.
aka the Game Changer.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I
Thanks for
appreciate
listening. And as always, please don't fuck up. But when you do fuck up, make sure you fuck up real good to help others.
that. That's a good one.
All right. It was a banger. Stay tuned for the next episode.